So, as it turns out, the bag of silver that had been confiscated when they went to the house of the young man contained the address, name of the merchant. So a little delegation was sent to the house of the merchant. Now the dog went along, of course, and the family were very, very distressed to find out that their father and breadwinner had been murdered. But the son came back to claim his father's body, and the dog went along with him. And when the body was brought back to the house and the burial rituals took place, the dog was always nearby. But after the body had been buried and due ceremony had been completed, the dog went off on his next adventure in life. When we put these three stories together, what is it that comes up for you in relationship to life? As the story was told several weeks ago, we see very clearly the timelines and relationships between creatures, including humans in that, don't exist for us anymore. What do these stories tell you relative to this? Bearing in mind these questions, how does our subtle emanation, electromagnetic field, and this center of no self, or the laws of life in relationship to the greater law, the Dharma, the Tao, the will of God, how does it all work for us when we can no longer be like a Zaki and say, oh God, yes, there's something good happened to me, and there's that dove again. So just like faith and trust and hope, omens and signs don't have significance for us anymore. And yet it all works for us. And we know it. How does it work for you?
God is everything in the stories and what I feel, but not that clearly. It's like God is everything and everywhere. It's our perception now that makes everything being perceived in a way that...
So how amazing is this? Now with the linear and the horizontal and the vertical and the spin, they all come together for us. No past and future. What's happening here now? What's happening here amongst us? Looking back over these years that we've been together, the various links of this chain. What's happening now?
Because before, just looking at us, say, you know, we were all separate. Everything was very separate. We all had like a, you know, I would look at it like that's my road and that's her road and that's his. Where now, it's just the one that is happening. And it's not like that's her road and that's his road. Now we're it's one somehow or other. So there's not what she's doing. And that would be the same with what's happening, like with the you know, when the dog comes, we look at that maybe as a separate thing outside ourselves, where now we don't. Now it's all part of that thing, energy.
Reminding us and reconnecting us in the moment, those when events are, keeping us present.
Yes, it certainly is doing that. And it's taking away those dividing lines, isn't it? Between the various levels of life, just like when we reach this level of mind where the three, Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge and bliss, become one, the dimensionality of life disappears, isn't it? So isn't that what's happening for us now? And yet, we wouldn't call it oneness. Would you call it oneness? No. So something amazing is happening for us. But more of that.